Keith, your thoughts on this? Do you support a two-state solution, first of all?
It's bipartisan support for a two-state solution, but this is one of the most intractable problems in international security and policy in human history. So to think that we're going to solve this in a speech by the Australian Foreign Minister, I think is hubris. This will only be solved by a negotiation, and the timing of this is important. So to have shifted the dial from an Australian perspective, I agree with Susan Lee that this is giving a public relations victory to Hamas for what they did on the 7th of October. The timing is all wrong. Of course, long term, all reasonable people want a two-state solution, and it is in Israel's and Palestinian people's interests. But the timing of this doesn't help at all.
OK, Julian, Susan Lee also said on this show earlier that in terms of interests, this is about the Labor Party's interests. It's about domestic politics to placate the left wing of the party. How do you respond to that?
Oh, it's just ridiculous. I mean, honestly, if that's the kind of rhetoric we get from the country's opposition about an issue which they're fundamentally in support of, a two-state solution, we'll give a mirror to Susan Lee so she can gaze back at herself. I'd make 2 points. The Australian community do not want this decades-old conflict imported into our society. The majority of Australians don't want to hear about this, or they just want a civil discourse, and that's true right across the country. But we've made consistent criticisms both of the Greens political party for seeking to politically profit and inflame this conflict, spreading lies and disinformation. And similarly, it is deeply frustrating and intellectually dishonest that every time anyone, be it the government or anyone else, talks about legitimate aspirations for the Palestinian people, for peace and security, for Israel and Israeli citizens living alongside each other, automatically, like little Daleks, the opposition go, oh, you're supporting Hamas. I mean, it is ridiculous. It is not the same thing. It is entirely legitimate for Australia's Foreign Minister to add our voice to an international discussion. You know, David Cameron, not a left-wing radical, the Foreign Minister of the United Kingdom has been pushing this debate. It'll be happening across the world. And, of course, we've got to contribute our view. It is just ridiculous to say that this equates to supporting Hamas or terrorism.
So if you don't support Hamas then presumably you want the Israeli government to finish its job and get rid of them. Well, I mean, we're going down little rabbit holes here. The point the Foreign Minister's made in the speech is Hamas has no... But that's a fundamental point to it. I mean, what she's saying is about the future of Hamas and it shouldn't be there. But for them not to be there, the IDF has got to go in and take them out.
And the point is also around collective security, and that Israel's security is best guaranteed when the region recognises Israel and provides those security assurances. That's simply not going to happen in many cases without a Palestinian state. And recognition as a pathway to a two-state solution is in Israel's security interest because it undermines support both within the Palestinian people but within the other countries in the region for extremism and for the behaviour of Iran.